Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you. Appreciate your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Hey, so we're going to talk a little bit about Kelsey Plum. And yeah, sorry, we got to talk a little bit about Asia Wilson as well. But I also want to talk about Kelsey's effect on the Los Angeles Sparks, who, as we know, not the best of teams last year. We'll take a look at how that may have changed a lot more than people think because the Sparks aren't really being talked about. But I do have to start off with this just as a reminder, even though we talked about it the other day, because I think it plays into some of the things Kelsey Plum just said recently as she was welcomed by the Los Angeles Sparks. That was kind of wild. So this is Asia Wilson telling Kelsey Plum in front of a national audience while watching Paige Beckers that she is there because she does not tan well.
Paige Beckers!
Us as black women, Paige reminds me a lot of you. Like, you say you're not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point. And also, like, she's good at basketball.
I won't go any farther, but and of course she says that because Paige had already done her mea culpa. You're all better than me. I'm just a lowly untanned person at the ESPYS. So now, Kelsey Plum first talking about LA in terms of the environment. They have not just met, but exceeding my expectations. I've been treated better than I ever have been as a WNBA player. That says something about the Aces. It's been first class. This league is going to continue to grow. I know that this franchise is extremely valuing how to support players in any way that they can. I'm excited to be a part of the new wave and will be able to show players LA is the place you want to play. Now, obviously, it's honeymoon period, but what it does sound like is the Sparks are trying to put their best foot forward, and guess where that comes from? That's right, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, because no one would be paying attention to any of this if it was just another WNBA offseason. But guess what? When you see what Caitlin Clark brought to the Fever, and now you see how the Fever have reacted to it, other teams need to step up every single thing they do if they want to attract players and be competitive in the league. Now, I want to talk about one other comment. And this is why I played the Asia Wilson clip again, because there was also this. Kelsey Plum on feeling like the Sparks could provide a great player experience. I've been treated better than I've ever been as a WNBA player, which I guess is kind of, she alluded to that in the comment I just said. But a lot of people took this as a shot, not just at the Las Vegas Aces, who may have dug themselves a very, very deep hole that is now starting to come back and bite them in the backside. But I think, and this is why I played that clip, it probably says some things about Asia Wilson as well, because let's face it, a lot of other players, as we talked about in a previous video, wanted out as well. And I have to say, just as a reminder, I'm sorry, it's the Neanderthal in me, I guess, but I don't know of anyone that smokes a cigar better than Kelsey Plum. I'm just saying, no one smokes a cigar better than Kelsey Plum. And of course, we also have this, and I bring this up as a reminder, and maybe a lot of you never even saw it. And I was so impressed when I first did. I was like, wow. And again, sorry, but I was like, she throws like a guy, which also I bring it up now because for those of you that didn't see Caitlin Clark throwing the football in the, I think it was Gatorade that was doing it, right? The bit with the sort of the skills challenge and how she was throwing that football. For those of you that did not see this and Kelsey Plum, and I think this is, I don't know if I even have it in regular motion. I think they have it in slow, but I bring this up for a couple of reasons. First of all, this is wild, by the way. And I mean that seriously, like everything about the way she throws this in terms of her technique. I wish WNBA players would have that same technique with their layups. They might make a lot more. But as you can see where that thing is going, that is absolutely wild. That impresses me, okay? I know this is where we can kind of say it. I do know a lot of guys that could not do that. That is absolutely wild, and I bring that up for those who didn't see it. Maybe a little hype up. Maybe this is something that could be done in the off season. Maybe even though it's not basketball, this is something that could be done at the WNBA All-Star break. How about Kelsey Plum and Caitlin Clark in a little bit of a quarterback skills challenge? Come on, who wants to see it? I want to see it. I think it would be cool to see. I know it's not their sport, but we saw Caitlin Clark throwing the football. You see this with Kelsey Plum. That would be absolutely wild to me. And I want to go over one other thing, if you all don't mind. This is why I say we'll get into a little bit of the team. I think it's kind of cool because, hey, Fever fans, you want to know your competition anyway, right? So another thing that Kelsey said is if you go down the line, she's talking about the team, I think Cam is a defensive player of the year just waiting to brew, she said, talking about Cameron Brink. Rakia is an all-star. By the way, they were both rookies. They're part of that rookie class. They'll both be returning only their second year. Ray Burrell's tremendous talent, and I think that she could be one of the best two-way guards in the league. Also another young player, third or fourth year in the league. So when you look at the versatility, everyone can shoot. They can play multiple positions. They can guard multiple positions. And they're all competitors. They want to win. They want to get better. They want to be great. That, to me, really stood out. And again, that sounds so much like what we were saying about the Indiana Fever and how they've constructed that roster right now. You look at this team, and I won't go, but Rakia Jackson, right, who I've always said was probably legitimately the number 2 when it came to Rookie of the Year. You know, if this any other year there's no Caitlin Clark, I think it's Rakia Jackson. Lexi Brown is a solid guard. She's more of a vet. Again, they have that good mix. Derricka Hamby, we all know what Derricka Hamby brings to the table. Quite a player. Another one who's, hey, guess what? Kind of in that double-double average range. See, last year, 17.3, 9.2, but also 3.5 assists again. Odyssey Sims, a player that we talked about when she came back from injury. This was someone we talked about getting to the Indiana Fever, and she went to the Sparks, and she's been playing well, and there's another vet. And then they got another rookie coming in, and of course, Kelsey Plum, another, but not old vet, right? But another vet, 7 years in the league. Ray Burrell, only 3 years in the league. Ari McDonald, as well, has only been in 4 years. Julie Alamon, only been in 2. Another rookie they just signed, Mercedes Russell. Of course, you have Cameron Brink. And I wanted to get to Azora Stevens as well for a couple of points that I want to make. If you look at Ray Burrell, who's played well. And I show this because this is just kind of interesting. I don't know if you can see this, but Ray in scoring is down here at 24. Okay, 7.2 points. But she's also, the points and minutes are almost corresponding because it's 3v3, right? It's all offense, lots of space. Everyone's chucking up shots. But Ray Burrell is right below Aaliyah Edwards, just to give you an idea, who's also not playing a lot, 8.3 minutes a game. And the reason I bring that up is because Aaliyah Edwards also was a rookie, part of that rookie class. She is in the semifinals of the 1v1 Unrivaled tournament. She beat Brianna Stewart, exposing the old guard, the whole big, slow physicality type of play that WNBA used to be. Aaliyah Edwards beat Brianna Stewart 12-0. 12-0 in the first round of Unrivaled. She was just more athletic. She was more explosive. Look, there's things Brianna Stewart does well. Don't get me wrong. I really like her mid-range jump shot. The mid-range fade, I think it's almost impossible to block, and she shoots it well. But other than that, she's kind of a lot of what people didn't want to watch. And you're starting to see that change in Aaliyah Edwards. That's an embarrassment. And the reason I say that, Ray Burrell went on to the quarters, okay? And I see that's what I'm saying. Aaliyah's not playing a lot for whatever reason. Ray Burrell, right behind her. Ray Burrell also went on to the quarterfinals. And guess who she lost to, folks? Who was also in the semi now, teammate Azora Stevens. So that is absolutely wild. I think the Los Angeles Sparks, the time being anyway, are kind of going below the radar, but I think they've made some really good offseason changes. I think they constructed a good roster of these young players. Now they've mixed in some vets. Does that sound familiar to any Fever fans listening? Right? That sounds very, very familiar. So, I think I had one more thing for you here? No, maybe not. Nope, that was it. Oh, this was just that. In case y'all didn't see that last time, a lot of people like this picture for some reason. I don't know why, but they did. But anyway, I thought it was really interesting the comments Kelsey Plum made both about the organization in terms of, because it reminded me a lot of what the Fever's doing, and then also the comment about how she was treated, which seemed like a shot across the bow to Asia Wilson, if not the whole Las Vegas Aces organization. And that made me take a little bit more of a look at what the Sparks have done. And this is a nice roster. I think the Sparks are going to, it may take some time to get together. I don't know how long it's going to be before Cameron Brink is really Cameron Brink again. So they might get off to a slow start, but keep an eye on the Los Angeles Sparks. I think they're going to be an interesting team there this year. I am going to leave it there. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts both on Plum and the Aces stuff, and then just on the Sparks in general, how they look shaping up into this season. And I will talk to you later.